Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, I am in the world famous Lucille right now. And because, as always, I am shooting this video on the go. And right here, this is my daughter's work. Look at that. Look at that craftsmanship right there. And it says to dad. Is it? Yeah, awesome stuff. Anyways, so I was going to shoot this review last night. And I realized something. I realized that I actually needed a full day to digest this movie because it's weird. It is weird. I'm taking off my coat for this one. So, everyone's been wondering, how am I going to rant about this movie, considering leading up to this, you guys have seen my videos and my thoughts on Brie Larson. And here's the odd thing. Brie Larson, actually, her world views don't affect this movie. So I guess that's a positive. But I'm going to do this like any other review. I'm going to give you an overview. I'm going to give you my pros, my cons, and then whether or not you should see this film. And for this review, I've got to break it up into 3 different class of people and what their enjoyment is going to be. First class, if you are a normal moviegoer, you will not notice anything. You might even enjoy this film. If you are an MCU fan, you will be thoroughly confused on this. And if you are an avid comic book reader or even dabbled in it, such as myself and this series, then you will absolutely loathe this movie. So, getting down to it, the premise is that Captain Marvel... Thank you. The basic premise is that Carol Danvers, or they call her Veer in the beginning. She has been kind of adopted by the Kree. And during this process, she is a warrior of an elite squad. She goes to this planet. There's an ambush. She gets stranded down on Earth. That's the best I can do without spoiling anything. But that's it. There's really nothing deeper than that. In my spoiler reviews, I can go over plot lines, but for a non-spoiler review, really that's all you need to know. What they showed in the trailer is pretty much the premise of the movie. So you have a female who has amnesia. She's trying to find out who she is, yada, yada, yada. So, what is my problems with this film? My problems are that this film could have been better than actually what it is. And the problem with the movie is, it is, I think, not good because of writing. Sadly to say, as much as I would like to diss Brie Larson because of all the stuff she said, she actually doesn't really act bad in this film. I think she's not giving a good direction with the character to express what they're trying to get across. So I honestly attribute some of the things that she does in this movie as just poor choices in writing, okay? And this movie has a lot of poor choices in writing. So first of all, there are particular scenes that lead you to believe that this movie is going one way, and then they do a nonsensical plot twist about halfway through the film that doesn't add anything to the story. It actually confuses the audience. So even a regular moviegoer, you're following a particular character, you're led to believe that they're this one thing, and then they throw a plot twist that really doesn't make sense and it affects the overall story of the movie. It then flips it and makes the story very uneven. And this is my problem. Do I think Captain Marvel is a terrible film? No, not by any means, actually. It's a typical Marvel film. But the problem is, it doesn't beat the mediocrity that it is. It doesn't go too feminist, which means that it's not going too extreme, and it doesn't try to achieve that. And at the same time, it doesn't do anything groundbreaking with the character. So it gets stuck in the middle, in this weird middle ground that I can't figure out why. You will leave this movie wondering why. That's the best way I can sum this up. You will wonder why this character. because they don't give you an interesting arc for you to enjoy this character. Do I say they can do it in 1 or 2 movies? No. I think this is a flat, uninteresting character to begin with. And they got Brie Larson to play a flat, uninteresting character. And honestly, I don't blame Brie Larson for this. I blame the fact of picking this character. There's nothing honestly interesting about the character itself, thus making the story not interesting. And that's the problem. I think that's the problem people are going to have with this film. If you are a typical moviegoer who just loves Marvel movies, you are going to sit back after seeing Endgame and go, what does this have to do with the rest of the film? Where is the lead-in? Where's the struggle? Where's even a sense of throwing in something that has to do with Thanos or any of the subsequent storyline? Don't get me wrong, there's callbacks, but they're not the right callbacks for leading into Endgame. It's just there. It's just like when you go in the movie and you have a cup holder and you place your drink in the cup holder. That's basically what this film is. I mean, and she has an arc, and she's not exactly a Mary Sue, but she's not an independent character. She's a weird mix of being a Mary Sue character, yet not. And the only way I can describe this is in my spoiler review, because I don't want to give away too many reasons of why she falls flat. I will tell you what saved this movie, and what will save it for most people is the supporting cast. And here's the problem. The supporting cast is the support. You cannot have an uninteresting main character and prop up the film by the people around them, because the movie is not named Captain Samuel L. Jackson or Captain Goose the Cat or Captain Ben Middleston. The movie is named Captain Marvel. And yet Captain Marvel is the uninteresting thing about the movie. It's a paradox. It doesn't work. And I can't for the life of me figure out why you would go this route. That's my problem. And I feel like Brie Larson doesn't have a heroic feel, if that's right. She doesn't feel like a hero. So therefore, you have Brie Larson who can't shoulder this responsibility, and you are expecting me to say she is going to carry on the Marvel legacy. And I don't buy it. I don't buy by her acting that she can carry a whole entire franchise. And this is where the problem lies. The media propped her up to be the next great superhero, and all you get is an average story. For a film that's supposed to be this caliber, you should have a big caliber feel. Should I skip my child support payment to see this movie? No! Don't skip your child support payment to see this movie. For the love of all that's good, make sure the kids are taken care of, because Captain Marvel, not worth it. Definitely not worth it. I mean, I would definitely put every other responsibility before sacrificing to see this movie. Now, the big question that people are probably wondering, well, Lee, you seem to have some enjoyment, and a coworker even said to me, they said, well, you were laughing. That doesn't constitute a good movie. I've seen plenty of movies that have been enjoyable that I've laughed at, that I had a good time in. Venom was a good movie to me. I had fun. Would I call it a great movie? No, it had problems, but it was enjoyable. This movie has gaping holes. It has problems. There are just parts that are enjoyable, and that's the problem. And they don't come from your lead. That's a huge problem. When you are marketing a character and you are marketing it as the next best thing, and your lead can't hold up that role, that's the problem with Captain Marvel. Its lead just is either not given the best material or can't hold your interest with the material she's given. There's been plenty of actors who have been given bad material. Look at Tom Hardy in Venom, and he still is the sole reason that character works. And that's the problem with this film. So in closing, if you are a normal film goer, you will enjoy this movie. If you are a fan of the MCU, you will be confused. And if you're a comic book fan, you are going to absolutely positively hate everything about this movie. you're gonna hate the character, you're gonna hate the reveals at the end, you're just gonna hate this thing. So if you're a diehard comic book fan, don't go and see it. But an average moviegoer, I guess if you there's nothing else really out, it's an easy way to kill almost 2 hours. But other than that, honestly, if you're still on the fence, I'd say skip it or wait for $5 Tuesday when you can go and see a movie for $5. And even that's really stretching it. If I didn't see this movie for free, I wouldn't have wasted my time. And if I didn't do these reviews for you guys, I wouldn't waste my time. But shortly after this, I'm going to be doing a spoiler review where I'm going to get in depth. And if you guys care about this movie, then you're probably not going to want to watch that. But if you want to know my particular nitpicks with this film and why it doesn't work, then shortly here, I'm going to do a spoiler review and I'm going to dive deep into the plots and subplots that make this film not work whatsoever. But my overall general view is that this is a weird movie. And Marvel is so weird because even their bad films are good. Would I call this Thor Dark World bad? It's like right there. It's like if there's nothing else on except for Thor Dark World or Captain Marvel, I'm going to struggle on which bad movie I'm going to pick to watch. But other than that, all I can say is at the end of the day, judge with your own eyes. You know, don't have to take my opinion for it. But if you want to wait a little bit, I would wait. I would wait for either to see it cheaper or just to come out. And here's the big thing you guys are all wondering. Is there a tie-in to Endgame? No! No tie-in whatsoever. Like, none. That is another thing I'm going to rant about on my spoiler review. The tie-in is so bad. It's bad. It's like a clear shoehorn into the next movie. The tie-in is so like, oh, people are going to get mad if we don't put in something about Endgame, and it's predictable. And then the last credit scene did it for me. Goose for life. Anyways, at the end of the day, I say skip this one. Skip it if you're an MCU fan. Skip it if you're a comic book fan. If you're a typical moviegoer, it's good to kill 2 hours. Other than that, that's the best I got for you. Anyways, this has been my live stream. Thank you for the likes, everyone who tapped the like button. I'm just trying to give you the fairest review I can on these things. If you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Tell other people about the channel. Let them know that I shoot from here. Look, Lucille. Oh, she's beautiful. Sorry, my daughter's artwork. Look at her. I'm going to get more shots. She's like the typical like starter car. Like I got duct tape on the side, like holding up the headlight. So no. Don't skip your child support payment. I guess that's a good way to end this video. Don't skip your child support payment to see this film. Make sure the kids are taken care of. Okay? Take care of your responsibilities. Who should I believe, you or my own eyes? I would say that I'm giving you an objective view, and I have a fact-based video coming out on why I don't think this works. But at the end of the day, all films are subjective, and I'm just critiquing based on my view. I'd say, honestly, if you could in or you get in for free, that would be the best way to see this film. $5 Tuesday would be good because you're only spending $5. I'd say I wouldn't pay full ticket price, not $10.50. And I definitely 3D was terrible. I saw it in 3D. There were very little effects with 3D. It was very disappointing. So the 3D wasn't a good clinch for this movie. Alita had great 3D. This film, thank you. So I mean, you know. That's just my honest opinion. A little bit later, if you guys stay tuned, I'm going to shoot somewhere where actually, hopefully I won't cut in and out because the Wi-Fi here is terrible. But I'm going to shoot my spoiler review so that I have a good uninterrupted feed. And then I'm going to dive into details and tell you guys exactly what doesn't work in the film. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, this is your favorite reviewer. Lee, and thank you all for joining me. I will be doing the other stream later. And as always, you know my tagline, me and now Goose the Cat. We'll see you.